Welcome to my first non-vacation Monday as a free person. I know it's only the first day, so I'm trying not to lose myself in these feelings of guilt and anxiety about not going to work today. I have been having not quite nightmares about going to work by accident, starting to make something and then realizing that I'm not supposed to be there and then trying to sneak out before the boss notices me. So I gave myself today to catch up on art stuff. I know I kind of gave up hope on art stuff a while ago, but I'm kind of using it as a coping mechanism and pretending that I have the art life that I want, so that I can try to enjoy this moment as much as possible. What do you want? What are you doing? Okay. And tomorrow I am going to take this opportunity to visit a friend. I'm pretty happy about having this opportunity to be Maggie for a few days, a few weeks, and hopefully not for months. I brought back a few objects of interest. I think most of these are from the beach. This one's from camping. Look at that. Amazing. I got a stick that broke in my bag. This seems kind of silly, but I just really liked. There was this nice combination of this greenish moss and this interesting white epiphyte of some kind. I like that, and I brought that home to draw, but I broke a piece of it and I don't know where it went. This is not pretty anymore because it got squished, but I have the seed pod that I like. I took a picture of it, so not all is lost. I got another piece of moss and a cool tree fungus. Look at this. Look at this tree fungus. Looks so cool. And there's lots of stuff that I want to do creatively. Like Jazza did an MS Paint challenge. I would love to do something like that, but with the original paint, not the nice new paint that has pretty color palette on it. Well, I'd probably make my own color palette. And I would do it with a mouse for the actual effect. It would be awful and I would fail horribly. I just know this. I drew a bunch of stuff. I don't really think that I should show because I did a lot of it for Patreon specific. Let's see. Oh, when I do the flip through, I'll probably show it. Here, I'll show this. I did this nice drawing of the river, and I particularly love this one because it makes me think of this old instructional but not instructional art book that I had in the 90s, where it was full of drawings, often with pens and pencils, that took these mundane things like vegetables and drew it in the style like this that made it look so interesting. And when I was a kid, I was like, how can people get this wonderful art from these sad little scenes that aren't that interesting? And I particularly love this page because I did it. This is it. This is the style that I admired so much when I was a child. And if I went back in time and told myself that I was able to draw one of these, I wouldn't believe it, probably. I was 10. As far as art goes, I feel like I'm a huge late bloomer. I feel like kids today have such an advantage because when you have access to so much information, you improve so much faster. And you know, like, people brag a lot about being self-taught, but the thing is, there's no such thing as being self-taught. You are taught by other people. You just don't give them any credit. All this stuff you learn on YouTube and all these really young artists that do really well from admiring other art, they improve so much faster than any of us ever did when we were kids, and it's great. Like, you're doing so well when you're so young, and it's great. Anyway, I finished this layout. I pre-light sketched it before I left so that I could have something to work on that would quench any desire that I had for watercolor specifically. And I filled it. I knew that I should have been able to fill it, but I didn't actually expect my vacation to be as creative and productive as it was, or I wanted it to be, but I did it. It looked great with the black background, because right now it seems kind of pale. I particularly like this section here, the last little bit. I love the design. These are all designed after actual buildings in Vancouver specifically. I'll do other cities too, but there's just so much that I have no reason to stop doing Vancouver right now. My only regret is that all of these buildings I bunched together, even though they all have brick or glass windows, and I hate that. I hate that they're bunched together. They look ridiculous. Like, I like this part better because it's like brick with solid, so it's okay. But this is just too much. I was not really planning it out. I would just start somewhere, and I would flip through Google Maps and just find a building that looked interesting and just draw around it, but apparently I did all of the churches at the same time. So yeah, this is a lot of book to fill in. This is gonna be at least probably several years of work, I think. And it's not something that I can just do on the run either, unless I pre-sketched it. I should do that today. Because if I visit Lindsay tomorrow, I might want something to work on. Because I don't really want to do any more Patreon sketches for July. I feel done, you know? I feel like I'm waiting for the new thing, whatever it is. It's either going to be machines and other, like, man-made things, like wires and vehicles or cogs or whatever, or keeping a gratitude journal, which I'm kind of about. But yeah, yeah. Oh, I love this paper. It's so friggin', like, soft and cottony and bendy and fabricy and blah blah blah. Love it. Don't stop. Any excuse to keep this book going, because I don't want to forget about it at all. Couch is still amazing. I love it. And yeah, I want to draw more things from vacation. I took pictures of stuff, and I want to do a tribute to a chunky rabbit and a tribute to the frog in my sketchbook journal thing. And I want to use my crappy acrylic gouaches, like not the Liquitex ones, but the cheap ones, just to get rid of them, because I like being somewhat minimalist, and this is just too much. I still don't know what I'm going to do with those pins up there, by the way. But yeah, I feel like significantly more hopeful and what do you call that? That'll come to me. And I also forgot that I was working on this too. Oh, jeez. I have too many things going on at one time. Oh, I know that this is going to be a long ass boring vlog too, but like, before I left, I had this issue with FedEx because Cat Print, they used my art for July, and in exchange for that, as a thank you, they will send a few prints of the artwork on some paper thank you. Like, I honestly, I didn't particularly know what I was going to do with them, and I was thinking maybe I would somehow I know that I would never actually get around to it. I'd be so scared. But if I had the bravery, I would have asked if I could give them away at the local animal hospital, because it's like it's art about a cat. It's my cat painting, and I thought, who else would like portraits of animals other than people who love their animals enough to take them to the hospital when they're sick? And they would have been like 8x10 prints, and they were going to print them on something called felt paper. I have no idea what that is. And I was really curious to know what that was and what it looked like. And they were free to me, so I was going to give them away and treat it like a big, huge business card, big, huge brochure. Someone who loved my art would hang it on the walls, but they would also find out who I am. Maybe they get a commission for their own pet. I thought it was a pretty good idea. But they sent it FedEx ground. They came to our apartment building, noticed that it was not a business, and then they just gave up. And they left a message on the phone saying that but the thing is, like, no one's home, so no one's going to be able to answer the door if they come. So I called the number, and it was a robot, and they said that I didn't have access to my own address information. It was restricted access, so they told me to hang up. And I emailed them saying, I have this information you want, how can I get it to you? And they said, this is like literally customer service email, said, I can't help you. So yeah, sorry, Cat Print, I didn't get your package. And not gonna try. Not even gonna try. This is the tiniest bun bun. So, now that it's August, I like to have some kind of extra, like on Patreon for the Chrysalis tier. I send an original sketch to everybody, and I like to add like a little extra something. It's not listed there, but I just do, because I can't really promise that I am always going to have something. And so this month I've been just printing a few of my sketches on label paper, so that I'll just cut them out and they'll be like stickers. Let's give this nice fish and a flower. They don't really look like much on the white background, but once I cut them out, they should be okay. They look like this. Cute, cute, cute. A bunch of them. But yeah. Doing that today. I applied for a job that is kind of unusual for me, and I really kind of want it. But yeah, so if you see that I have lost my blog and my vlogs, they are still there. Feel free to send me a message on Twitter or something, and I can just give you a direct link if you've been like waiting for a free time to watch the last vlog or something. Just because I don't want to have like a lot of like personal videos floating around out there while I'm job hunting. Not that I think anything's like bad or anything. It's just that I don't really know how deep people dive, and I don't necessarily want anyone to be seeing me, I don't know, complain about stuff or whatever. So those are just unlisted for now. And once I get settled in, I'll put them back. So it's Friday, and these paintings were adopted today, and I'm really really glad. I mean, apart from the fact that well, one, I'm panicking. Like, I'm already having, like, a identity crisis. I guess that's not really the right word for it. I'm starting to, like, I thought that I was actually going to be outdoors more while I was off, but I guess I'm still kind of agoraphobic. Like, when I was a teenager, I used to, after high school, I stopped leaving the house because I was too afraid. And now it's happening again. But, yes, this is good. This is definitely better than getting commissions because I don't have to do anything except pack it and go. But also, I find that this painting has been so underrated. It's one of my first ones. You can tell because this is done with, I think this was Cotman watercolor paints, and you can kind of tell the difference. It's very subdued, but I really like this one because it's the best bird I think I'd ever painted before. And I was doing like practice with light and things. I still had this going on. So this one is The Illusion of Progress, which it's sort of an illustration of the Aesop fable of the crow and the pitcher, but it has a different ending. So instead of putting pebbles in the pitcher to raise the level of the water, he's stuffing it full of leaves, which is not effective. But you know, he's working really, really hard and not getting anywhere, which is kind of how I feel most of the time. Where I'm doing everything that I think I should be doing. I'm making art, I'm getting my stuff out there, and nothing's really come of it. And now I'm in the situation where I'm unemployed and I have no money. Well, no income rather, so it's just like, ugh, I'm like panicking. So it's interesting timing for this one to sell. And, you know, I always love these gouache studies a lot. And yeah, I always forget what I've got going on. And this is the last time I get to see them. And that's kind of sad, but also great. That feeling when you forget that you have no packing tape. Because there's no one around here that sells packing tape for some reason. And I can't get this off because I installed a shelf over it. That feeling when everyone always orders on Fridays and there's no mail service on Fridays and after 3 p.m. and it's 4 o'clock and it's a long weekend, I think. No. What? Well, he just hopped.
Well,
With his wings.
pro move.
He's such a pro. This is literally the reason I got this basket. I've been super demotivated in terms of doing anything. So like a job that I applied to that I really wanted, I think it's like just an ongoing job listing, so they're probably not actually hiring. So I'm a little dejected and I'm not sure when I should give up on that. But I just realized that on Saturday I signed up for an outdoor painting thing because it's free, allegedly, and it's on the beach, and they give you a free canvas, and it's like a 16 by 20 canvas. Like, that's not small, which means that I might have to do some kind of like acrylic painting or something, which is not my strength. But since I can't like prepare it or anything, I mean, maybe because I don't think that watercolor ground will be able to dry quickly enough. It's only 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. so I don't know how much. It depends on how hot it is. Maybe it'll dry. I don't know. But I'm gonna bring a bunch of options. But if I end up doing like an acrylic painting or something, I was just thinking how woefully unprepared I am for that. Like, I've done the Opus Painting Challenge a lot, but that was usually just like sitting somewhere with my clipboard, and I guess I can do that. Or I could possibly convert this tripod into an easel, which would not be too hard, because this is a good, okay, this is probably actually too high if I was sitting on the ground. What do you think? Do you think this would be, yeah, this would probably be a little bit too high for ground sitting. But if I was sitting on a bench, I can make it longer, or you know, not shorter than this, but much longer than this. And it's already got a bolt in it, so if I had a flat panel of wood, which I do, I could just drill a hole in it and then put the wood on there, and then fasten another piece of wood underneath it, and then it would be a tripod easel. Should I do that? I don't know if that's worth doing that. Or maybe I'll just be a noob and take my clipboard again. No, I can't, because it's a canvas. That's why I've been struggling with this, because like a canvas is like extra awkward, because you can't lean it on anything because it gets bent if something pokes it. Yeah, what should I do? What about the water situation? Like, I don't want to bring my glass jar. It'd break probably. These are all things that I wasn't really thinking about. And my palette that I use is a dinner plate. Oh, this is gonna be funny. I'll probably take like the acrylic washes, because I really like those. And I should probably like scout out something ahead of time, because it's like plein air, landscape, or cityscape kind of painting, which is right up my alley really, but sort of. But I wasn't really thinking about the logistics at all. I was just thinking about how much fun it would be, and the fact that the actual prizes, like, it's a actual competition sort of, so the actual prizes are notable. Like, they're actually worth it. I just don't know if it would be wise to take a plate. You know what I mean? Like, these are things I really should have been thinking about. At least it's only Thursday. I still have a whole day to plan something. Oh jeez. This palette is 12 by 16. Even this is smaller. It's gigantic. I mean, it's not painted on 4-foot canvases before, but like not outdoors. How would I find something like 16 by 20 is significantly more than this. It's at least 4 inches on both sides. 4 extra inches on both sides. Wow, okay. Cat for reference here. I don't think I have a board that large. Oh wait, I just remembered that I have this for craft fair. I wonder if it would be really dumb to just use it. I mean, okay, sure. If I was sitting on the ground, which is likely, I could just use this. It just means I'd have to pick it up when I'm doing the bottom, but I can handle that. This is about a 16 by 20, I think. Maybe. This looks about right. Okay. Craft fair for the win. I also just happen to have a slice of masonite that is tall enough to actually hold a 16-inch canvas. So it's the day before the outdoor event. I haven't actually tried assembling anything with this thing. I did go to Michael's to see if they had one of those collapsible jars. The plastic, no, silicone collapsible jars that I kind of want. But they don't have anything like that. But they do have actually a portable metal easel. And it was like $40, which is kind of super cheap. In terms of like easels, it's probably crap, but it looks super like lean and decent and packable, and it even has a bag. And why would I mean, I could just try to alter this, or I could just do this. So I just got that. I was thinking of just thinking about it and coming back later if my idea didn't work, but come on. $40? I probably could have actually used a coupon on it. I just assumed that their Artist Loft brand was just, it's like their version of cheap art stuff. I just kind of assumed that they were all exempt from coupons, but I think I probably could have gotten this for like $20, which would have been great, but just, come on, you're like... The reason why I feel like it's okay to make a purchase from my art stuff is because people like you who watch my videos or have bought paintings for me this month or are on my Patreon group where we do lots of sketchbook filling activities and things like that. Like, I really appreciate it. You're the reason why I can actually do these things and make videos and sign up for events and stuff. It's really great that I can continue to do things that I like to do, even though I would feel too guilty to spend even $1 otherwise on anything like this. So, thank you so much. Also, I was at the dollar store looking for similar stuff, and they have self-sealing bags. And they have, like, it's 8.5 by 11 products. Like, I can fit my actual medium-sized paintings in this, which is amazing, because lately I've been using page protectors, which is not great, but it was doable, and I had them. Whereas, I don't know, I would have to order something like this online, I guess. And they were like $1.25 for 24 of them. Which is okay. It's not, you know, there's some places charge like a lot. Like, I think I bought some 5x7s. It was like a pack of 50, I think. And it was, I think I paid like $13 for them. That's just a lot. Now that I have bubble blown. My one frivolous purchase today. It makes baby bubbles. It better. I hope it doesn't just make that big cluster bubble. Not as fun. Easels are normally super expensive. This comes in 2 pieces. Mystery. The reason why I kind of like this one is that it's pretty much the exact same size as my camera tripod. So I'm definitely not adding bulk. I'm actually like going to be carrying less this way. Oh, okay. I'm actually like, whoa, I'm an easel noob. Oops, that was a mistake. I'm an easel noob, so I actually don't know how to use one. The only other one I've ever used was like wood. What is that? There's so many things. What is this? It's springy and oh, okay. So what? This locks it? Like what's going on here? Okay. Oh, okay, so that you can adjust how wide the canvas is. That's nice, so it doesn't flip forward on you when you got wet paint, and then you get wet paint all over your shirt when it's windy out. Perfect! I didn't even think of that. I would not have ever thought of that. Okay, where does this go? Okay, so this is the front, which means you must go like this somewhere. Oh, it's because it goes down here. If I wanted it to, I guess. And these stretch out more and more if I wanted to. Hold up. Okay, so if I fully extend it, I can put it out like this, and then it's like a lat, which is about my thigh height. And this goes up like this. Oops. It's not right. That's not right. Ha! There we go. It could be huge! That's a huge canvas! Wow! This takes up an awful lot of space. I mean, I guess I wouldn't need it to be. So, yeah. So this would be pretty good. I think it only goes up to 5 feet, which looks about right. It's about as tall as me. And, yeah. And if this was, this would be good for working on like a bench, I guess. And if I was sitting on the ground, I can make it small again. It's perfect. It's perfect. I'm guessing this is just to keep it from getting lost when you're packing it up, maybe. Or maybe this, or maybe it keeps it from, it doesn't need to because it stops itself, but yeah, it's pretty delicate. Excuse all the dust and fingerprints, but my laptop is giving me issues. So this is a gaming laptop that I got as a gift because I couldn't play any video games on my last one. My old one was like a, less than $400 HP. Not a notebook, but just a regular laptop, and it was okay, but it didn't run anything, and so rendering videos is really difficult for me. And this is like a ridiculous step in the other direction that I would not have personally chosen. But one thing that is really common, and I didn't know until now, so I'm just mentioning it in case somebody else hasn't come across this problem yet. But the lids initially come torqued way too tight. This one's way too loose now, but like it's way too loose now. If I push it over, it will fall, which is bad because while the computer is made of steel, the pieces inside holding it together are made of plastic. And so for me, going like this, I have actually lifted it by the screen a few times because I only had one hand, and this thing is extraordinarily heavy. So I did mistreat it and kind of abuse it, and the connections here broke, and one of the connections here is broken too. We haven't fixed it yet. All that we've done is like loosen it a bit so that it doesn't snap and crackle all over the place all the time. But it does, so that sucks. It's like, these are kind of expensive computers, and I have to say, like, I've definitely had more annoying minor issues with these than the cheap HP laptop. Like, I have way more dead pixels on this for no reason, and my trackpad it sticks a lot. I use the trackpad more than a mouse, for example, and like now this broke, and it's just kind of like, why? Like, why would such an expensive computer use plastic parts for anything? That's what I want to know. Why weren't they steel hinges? Why are they plastic hinges? I don't understand. But Yeah, so we're having a nice little Ginger Gentle time now. It always looks mucky, but he's a little workhorse. At least you've got that. Here, now that it's fixed. Sort of. It's so hard trying to find a spot where you get something other than just water.